Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? It was September 11th, 2001, and I was in the nurse's office at my elementary school. I remember chatter under the breath and things being really chaotic, but I didn't truly understand what was going on until I got home and turned on the news. 19 Islamic terrorists hijacked 4 planes out of the northeastern U.S., all headed for California. 2 of the planes were crashed into the north and south towers of the World Trade Center complex in lower Manhattan. Less than 2 hours after impact, both 110-story towers collapsed. A 3rd plane was crashed into the Pentagon, and the 4th was headed to Washington, but the passengers overtook the hijackers and crashed it into a field in Pennsylvania. The destruction of the World Trade Center and nearby structures harmed the economy of lower Manhattan, which resulted in the closing of Wall Street for 6 days. Cleanup of the site was completed in May the following year, and on November 18, 2006, construction of One World Trade Center began on site. The attacks caused the deaths of 2,996 people, injured another 6,000, and still 1,000 victims have yet to be identified. What has been called one of the worst days in American history also brought Americans together. Road rage disappeared the next day. Firefighters and police officers put their lives on the line searching for the innocent, and Congress put aside partisanship, for the time being anyways, and sang God Bless America on the Capitol steps. The president at the time, George W. Bush, said these acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat, but they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. September 11, 2001 is a day we will never forget. So what did they do where the Twin Towers previously stood? This spot is also known as Ground Zero. They built an incredible memorial. Formerly known as the World Trade Center Memorial Foundation, the National September 11th Memorial and Museum was formed as a nonprofit corporation to raise funds and manage the memorial's planning and construction. A competition was launched for the design of the memorial, and the winning design was named Reflecting Absence. It consists of a field of trees interrupted by 2 large recessed pools, which are the footprints of the Twin Towers. The names of the victims of the attacks are inscribed on the parapets surrounding the waterfalls. The museum includes more than 40,000 images, 14,000 artifacts, over 3,500 oral recordings, and more than 500 hours of video. Although I have not been able to experience this myself, it is on my bucket list. The tragedy of 9/11 hit home with everyone in America, but can you imagine what it was like in lower Manhattan? We owe it to the victims and survivors alike to visit the memorial, see their names, and honor them.